Yeah, and see, that's where people never really understood what the bar card was. They always thought it was just for the judges and for the attorneys and everything. No. Everybody that goes into that bar court has to have a bar card or be a bar member. Otherwise, you're not allowed into that court. Well, you go into that court and you've got a Social Security card, you are a bar member. You belong in that court.
Yeah.
Because it's a foreign court. A foreign banking court.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Your way out of that court is to surrender your bar card.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple.
Or if you don't have one, you just tell them you don't have one. Or you have to get one, I guess, and surrender it. You got to go get one again if you don't have one.
Or you basically say, I surrender that account number. That's been assigned to me. I don't have the card, but I am surrendering that account number and item. Okay?
Right.
Okay. Can I ask
lost the card.
Along that line, can I ask you a question? I know someone who tried to rescind their Social Security and opt out and all that stuff, and they got a letter back saying that participation was mandatory. They could not opt out.
Yeah, well, that's bullshit, okay? It all depends on how they're operating, okay?
Okay.
You have the right to opt out of any illegal transaction. And basically, the foreign banking system is illegal to the national banking system of this country.
Mm-hmm. They filled in,
okay.
They sent in an SS5.
No. All you have to do is what this document that I have up here, okay?
Okay, no, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying to you what they did, and that was the response that they got back.
Right, and see, basically they never addressed it as a bank authorization document, card, representative that you were. See, take a look at your checks.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this. Why does that check say authorized representative? You set that account up. You set that account up with your Social Security number. So now it's a banking action.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the B, and then you've got the authorized representative there, AR. Now you have your Social Security card, so that was your bank authorization for being a representative for that account. Why? The question is, okay, on the other side of the picture.
Okay.
Why have we gone to courts and tried to get Article 3 judges? Why have we tried to go to the Secretary of State, to the Attorney General of the state, to whoever, de jure state officials, and not gotten anything from them? Because we are barred from dealing with them. We cannot deal with the constitutional officers. Barred is the same as bar. Okay? And that's what the problem is. We are barred from dealing with the de jure side as long as we're operating with a foreign banking system.
Okay.
We have to come in and take control and get rid of that trustee and also get rid of the Social Security card. It's a bar card.
Okay. Now, question along these lines, I received a summons for jury duty. Can I just send that in along with the summons saying I will not participate?
No, you're surrendering it. You have to use the right words, okay?
Okay.
And you have to tell them what you're surrendering. You're not surrendering an insurance policy. You're surrendering a bank authorized representative card.
Okay.
You are no longer going to be a representative for a foreign bank. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yes, it does. You're making it very clear.
Yeah, I just had to pull this out and then start looking at why we weren't getting in the door to these places. Because we are out here with that foreign banking card. We're barred from dealing with them.
See, this might sound stupid, but barred is B-A-R-R-E-D, right?
B-A-R-R-E-D. And when you look it up in Valentine's dictionary, it is the same thing as B-A-R.
Yeah. Right.
And it doesn't really give you the true meaning of what B-A-R means, but it is basically a foreign bank authorized representative.
Right.
So you don't need to have a bank authorized representative card to deal here in the National Trust and Bank of America.
That makes it very obvious, huh?
Darlene?
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick, tell them about what you observed on the card itself.
Well, you don't need to go too much into that. Basically, it just says Social Security, okay? It doesn't tell you that it's a bank authorization card.
Right,
but it looks, it's a temple on there. And it's got pillars. And you are basically in a bank. And you are representing that foreign bank. You're representing the damn bankers, the Rothschilds out of London, England, is what you're really doing.
Hmm.
And the Queen of England is the administrator.
She is just a peon, okay? She is just a peon in the process. The bankers in London town control England.
Right. But it's pretty obvious that they want to control all that money.
Yes. And see, that was by the monarchs, and this was all set up back in 1814 at the Treaty of Paris with the Church of Rome and everything else. They were going to destroy this country, and basically how did they do it? By the bankers. And the people know everything there is to know about money. Just ask them. They will tell you that they know everything about it. As the old saying goes, money is the root of all evils.
And they're still destroying the country.
Yes.
It's the love of money.
Okay, the love of money. Got to get love in there somehow, huh? Everybody loves a little. And that's what they give you out of this damn foreign banking system is a very little.
No, it's the old saying, like what the mafia says. It said money's way far ahead than what's second best.
Uh-huh.
Than what's in second place. That's what they say. Money's way far ahead than what's in second place.
So you need to modify that re-entry document to address this fact in there and reword it on the document itself. There was one in line 2 there, nobody caught, and I had to see that this morning when I was doing some cutting and pasting and said, oh, hell, that doesn't make any sense. And further usage of the foreign. I said, wait a minute, that should have said any. I know that's what I really meant when I was typing, but the Y just sort of disappeared.
Patrick, I caught that when I published it in doc form.
Okay. But see, the key thing here is that they set up a U.S. foreign banking corporation. That's what they did when they set up this copyrighted United States. It became a U.S. foreign banking corporation. And then you got this Social Security to that social banking system card, which was just a BAR. And you could look at it as either banking or bartering authorized representative, because really we are a barterer, but a barterer is a banker also. And see, we're supposed to barter our assets for a conversion into something else. This is what you need to get rid of, okay, and come out of the system, knowing that it's strictly a foreign banking system and that you refuse to participate in their foreign banking transactions any longer. Insurance is another means of placing you in bondage, okay? So when you become barred, okay, by insurance, and then you become the trustee, now you become the liable party, and basically they can go out and arrest any bar member. Because the corporation, the banking corporation, controls all trustees in the corporation. So when you get rid of this bar card, now you can deal with the Article 3 courts, and then you can turn around and bring them into a lawful charge and settlement in the Article 3 courts, and basically these foreign bankers ain't going to be allowed in there. The U.S.
Real.
Marshals will come out of those courts and go and get the shit.
That's key to enforcement.
Right. But we have to get to those Article 3 courts, and there's only one way to get to them, and that's not to have a bar card.
Surrender.
Yes, we do the surrender and we do the displacement. We displace the trustee over our assets, and then we surrender this foreign banking card so that they can no longer access our, we're not going to do any more conversions with them.
Any more questions, guys?
So that conversion would apply to both the assets and the offices. Is that correct?
In a way, yeah.
We're bartering the assets, and then we're surrendering the trustee or the office, or like you say, displace it, removing it. Terminate and liquidate the trustee.
Yeah, we will no longer do any more conversions with these foreign bankers. See, that's really what that whole damn Social Security card is all about banking. Everything in everything out here. That's why the Bible is a banking book of laws.
We should look up that word conversion in the dictionary too.
Yeah, well, basically look up not displacement, but disposal, okay?
Yeah.
That's what you're really doing, is you're doing a disposal of your American credits. You're disposing of the credits, and that is an exchangement. Disposal is an exchangement. A barter. You're disposing them in one form to receive them in another form. So that's what the money orders we're going to have, is basically a disposal of our credits over to the U.S. Treasurer, the U.S. Treasury, and then the U.S. Treasurer is going to basically make the conversion into something else. Send this in, basically, for the Social Security card, you take a copy of that card, and basically you write surrendered on it. You should make a statement that you are surrendering this, as it is a bank-authorized representative card. Accessing the foreign banking system, and that you are no longer going to participate in that banking system.
Wow.
There should be 3 places you would send it to when you do your surrender of your Social Security account. One is to the one in Maryland, to the Office of the Commissioner, Social Security Administration. The next one would be the Social Security Administration at Springfield, Missouri. And then the third one would be to the Social Security Administration Regional Office. And you can find your regional office if you go into the Social Security area there. I will post a copy of this letter up on there that'll have, it's got Region 7, which is my region, out of Kansas City. But you'd have to find the other The other two addresses should be correct, and they got fax numbers, so I'm just sending these out as a letter by fax. You can get your confirmation when you send the fax that the fax was delivered, and that will stand up in any lawful court. They may try and disregard it in their legalese court, but we're not going to any more legalese courts because we don't have a bar card any longer. It had to be something very simple, as people did when they went into court, and basically the judges shut them down, and basically then they had the men in black or whatever come and see them, especially like that couple in South Carolina or North Carolina. And this is the only thing that now I can see that could have done that, was that they surrendered their Social Security cards to the judge.
Were the people using your trump card and saying that they revoked the underwriting doing somewhat of the same thing?
No, it's not doing the same thing. It's basically stymieing them, okay, but it will only work for a little while.
Okay.
Okay? You want out of the system, you go the whole damn way.
Right.
You're worried about, well, I'm going to lose my Social Security. You've already lost your Social Security, okay? You just don't realize it. They're just giving you peanuts like a damn elephant and keeping you sort of happy for a little while they fleece the hell out of you in the background. No, you do this right, and basically in 3 days' time, you will be out of the system.
So we have to do the surrendering of the card as well as doing our notice of reentry.
Yes. Basically, it's all part of the same thing. You're saying document, so you better be surrendering that card at the same time. If you say you're surrendering something, you better be surrendering it. Right?
Right.
Okay. You don't wait 2 or 3 weeks and say, okay, well, now I guess I better surrender the card. That's not how the game played. Okay, you guys go ahead and talk.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick.
What if you don't have your card or a copy of the card?
If you've got the original card, send the original in, but I would run copies of it and send those off by fax. But send a hard copy in. I've already surrendered mine several times, but I didn't address it properly. Years ago, I was calling it a Social Security card, insurance card. It's not insurance. It's a banking card. When you refuse your membership as a banking member, now that's a completely different outlook on the thing.
Suppose you have more than one card.
How can you have more than one card? You do the latest one. That's the one that you have, okay?
Okay.
The other one was rolled into the new one. It's just like you have a credit card. You lose the credit card, and basically you go and apply for a new one. Then you all of a sudden you find the old one. Well, the old one's no good any longer.
Okay.
Well, what if you don't have a copy or the original?
Just put them on notice then, okay?
Okay.
That you're surrendering any bar card that you may have.
You know, people that don't keep documents are pretty damn stupid, okay? I hate to tell you this, but that's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Try and fight the system, and basically people don't know what they're fighting, but you need to have some documentation out here. How could you ever get a bank account if you didn't have a copy of your Social Security card or something to prove that that was your number? But all you need to do is put the notification in there, is that basically you'll have to reword it. Instead of saying surrender, you're going to have to reword it and try and come up with some other words in place of that, stating that I have lost the card, and basically, but I am terminating all membership with that Social Security bar card. See, you have to think. And I know that is very hard for a lot of people out here. Because you've been boxed in for so damn long, you don't know how to think outside of the box. And there's a whole new world outside of that box. The dictionaries, especially the law dictionaries, if they have kept the words in those law dictionaries, they are available for you to use. And I love one of the key ones in there that they put in all the law dictionaries. But yet, people get so offended by the usage of this, but it's in damn law dictionaries. And that word is jackass. Because when you read what it says about that, you will see that basically it fits right into usage in the law system that they're operating under. That they are a bunch of those JSs. But in a lot of cases, we've been the JS in the system, making a lot of noise, but not knowing what the hell the damn problem was.
No, we've been trying, but we haven't been very good at it.
Okay, I'm going to shut up again for a while. You guys go ahead and talk.
Oh, okay. So you guys have any questions about the documents that you're working on?
Okay, so we're supposed to make a copy of our Social Security card, front and back, and I guess right across it, I surrender. And let's see, what else did he say? And we'll no longer participate as a banking member. And so when we fax the notice of reentry, we fax that sheet also.
Well, we're not faxing the Social Security card in. We're, as of the last call, we're not sending in this Social Security, the certificate of live birth, or the DD-214.
You can to certain offices, okay?
Yes.
So that they know that you have done this, okay? Like maybe the Attorney General and maybe the Secretary of the Treasury, okay?
You mean the surrender?
No, the surrendered copy of the Social Security card.
Okay. With the notice, or do that separately with the surrender?
You could attach it to the fax that you send in to them with this reentry document, notice of reentry, and
that's what I thought.
To give them proof that you have surrendered that bank, that you are no longer dealing with a foreign bank.
Okay. I thought that was only just to the Social Security Administration, but I see your point. Yes.
Yeah, you need to notify the other bankers, the de jure bankers, that you are no longer participating. Now, you don't need to send it to everybody out here because your state attorney general basically is not going to be dealing with your money orders from the National Trust.
Okay. So to the federal.
And if they need to have it, they can come and talk to you.
Sure.
Okay?
Right.
You just make the general statement that you have done that.
Okay. Anybody have anything else on the documents they're working on?
Now, is this supposed to be done on green paper?
No, it does need to be done on green paper.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, another question. When we vote now on the ballot, is this supposed to be the check with the handle going to the left?
To the right.
To the right. Okay.
That's all on there, doesn't it?
Now, you always check to the right. You check to the left, they see you're going the wrong direction.
Okay.
See, you're like all those damn nitwits down there in Talladega and the Southern boys running around on their damn oval tracks.
That was my mistake again. Whenever I go away from the window and sometimes come back, I push in the wrong place.
Tom, I was in the Skype chat earlier, and someone pointed out that there was a typo, and then your response was the word both "the" and "he" were correct. Could you?
No, it is a typo, and
okay.
I do an OCR scan on the document, and I usually catch these typos, the scan errors, because they show up misspelled. But this one didn't show up misspelled, so I didn't catch it. And it's hard to catch visually because there's very little difference visually between he and B, just a small vertical bar on the bottom.
Right.
So I pointed out, and I did when I posted the documents, that these are all scanned, and everybody needs to verify the documents closely against the PDF that Patrick provided.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, just in your response it said something about "the" and "he" are both valid words. That's why I was just asking.
No, I mentioned that after I said they're valid words to the spell checker.
Ah, okay. I comprehend.
Okay. Anything else? You all working on the document? Getting ready to send?
The only documents we have to work on now, the ballot and the second ballot, which has the two places you check, and the reentry, and surrender the Social Security card. Correct?
Well, the reentry notice is a ballot.
Okay, so we don't have to do the other ballot now.
No.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I was clear.
Right. No, all we need to do is this plus a fax cover sheet. And now adding onto it the surrendering of the Social Security card. And anything more, guys? Should we wrap it up then? Pardon?
Did we go over the blanks?
Can we go over the what?
Did anybody go over the blanks yet? In the number 1, 2.
I don't understand what you're saying. You're very soft, and I don't understand the question.
On the first, where it says the American trustee votes yes for the following actions, number 1, where it says assess QV.
I really can't understand you.
They're talking in a tunnel.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's 1,000 times better.
Okay. Where it says on the first paragraph, the second section, where it says SUEQ trust per the registration number, is that the number on your birth certificate? Before it specifies about the DD-214?
Yes.
That blank? Okay.
And if you don't have a DD-214, you strike that phrase.
Right. I'll just take that right out of the document, that whole sentence. Okay.
Now, we've gone over what the registration, the routing number, transmitting on almost every call.
Okay.
That is true. The transmitting number is the number on the front of the Social Security card, and the routing number is the number on the back.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So after we check this ballot, after the ballot is checked and we send it in, is that when we put the L in front of the names?
What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm talking about the reentry, the notice of reentry.
I know you're talking about that.
You can do that anytime you want to right now, okay?
Okay.
That was a birthright or a naturalization right after 7 years to become an L, because that really stands for an elector, okay, if you're over the age of 25.
Okay.
But you need to get rid of the bar card to get out of the system as being classified as a foreign enemy to the nation.
Okay. So that's why that goes in with the notice of reentry. Okay.
Yeah, well, you send it into certain places, but you put that surrender of that document into the Social Security Administration, foreign bankers. That's what the Social Security is all about. It's foreign banking. Even if you want to also notify the IRS. I mean, basically, anytime they start, after you've done this, and they will try and get you back in the system. You just turn around and order that to be sent back to whoever sent it to you.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, on the L, you're talking about where you're signing it? That's because that's what I was asking. There's only one place where you put anything. And that's when you sign
and you can use that. I've got it. I'm going to use it, okay? But if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. You can use Mrs., Mr., or whatever you want to use in there, okay? But put a hyphen between your first and last name because the living real person does not have a last name yet. You can have a clan name, you can have a tribe name, but basically you don't have a last name yet. You only get your last name when you decide that's what you're going to be buried under.
Oh. Okay, now I see two spots for a date. I guess it's the re-entry date, and then the other one is the date of your proxy vote.
Well, you can type it up one day and then turn around and sign it the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Attested by.
Take a day to think about it before you sign it. Okay?
Mhm. Okay.
Bill Smith.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw where you called.
Yeah. I've been trying to tell you about this bar card.
Well, what's the give me the details on that. What's that?
That is the Social Security card.
What?
The Social Security card is your bar membership card. Bank authorized representative. Listen to the rest of this call. Tom recorded it. I'll talk to you on the line later on. Give me a call later.
Okay, man.
Okay? And I'll
Right.
explain why we never got anything out of the court system. Because we couldn't.
Okay, and our witnesses are our index fingers, left and right.
Right.
Okay.
This is a private document. You keep the master.
Okay.
So attested by, you would just sign it in cursive or
Yeah.
print.
You do an autograph, okay? You're not doing a signature, you're doing an autograph, okay?
Okay.
That means capital first letters, small letters, the way you normally sign something.
Okay, thank you.
Do we still keep that same document that was went up there about 4:30 this afternoon?
What's that?
Do we still use the same document?
We make one small change to it.
Well, a couple changes here that you need to listen to this call about, okay?
Yeah. I put the other changes in the document, the trusting visas, and those other small changes, and reposted it about 5 o'clock today. So the only thing
you need to really address this is all about banking, everything, and it's about foreign banking, and we've got to come out of the foreign banking system and get back over to the de jure banking system of the country. Okay, I'm going to drop off. You guys go ahead and talk.
Thanks,
talk to you later.
Patrick.
Okay, thanks, Pat.
So, any more, or are we all proceeding on the document?
All right. This,
Pardon? Yeah.
all right.
Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you. Now
all
I
right.
can.
I bet that last document that you did, everything, I saw where it was just one or two minor changes. But
Right.
other than
There's
that,
a third change. There's a third change.
What's that?
In the middle of paragraph 2 in the voting section, where it says trustee ex maleficio card.
Wait a minute.
That should now be trustee ex maleficio in parentheses bar card.
Bar card. Well, see, and you said.
Okay, bar card.
Altogether is in parentheses.
Pardon?
Bar and card is in parentheses.
No, just bar is in parentheses.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So trust ex maleficio card. Okay.
No, you're putting bar in front of the card there.
Okay.
Okay, that's that line where your name is first.
Well, it depends on how yours got spaced out. Mine, the name, it's on the third line in paragraph 2, at the end of the third line.
Okay.
And you said put maleficio.
Okay, per his trustee. Okay. Let's see.
Per ex maleficio bar in parentheses card. Bar capitalized.
Okay. And after that, and the Social Security constructive trust.
In vitum.
Huh?
That was the other change that was added to the document at 5 o'clock today.
Okay, it's supposed to be.
It was mentioned by Patrick on the call the night before.
Okay, so the and is supposed to be in?
It's constructive trust in vitum. And look at the dictionary definitions below it as what trust in vitum means. So the trust that you didn't consent to.
Okay.
And I forget what the third change was. I know I made it, but I don't remember where it was. Let's see, I'm transcribing last night's call. I think he mentioned that. No, he mentioned that. Let me see.
You put American next to and trustee in the last line
right,
of paragraph 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Which line and which paragraph?
The last line on paragraph 2.
Right. Okay. Yeah, this American trustee instead of this trustee.
National Trust and American Trustee of the United States of America. Yeah.
National Trust and American Trustee. That's what you said, right?
Right.
Okay.
Those are the changes from the original document. Those two changes, in vitum and American, are in the document that's posted 5 o'clock today. However, Patrick added the bar after that.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really explains all the problems we've been having.
It sure does.
I capitalized the in the United States of America.
Only the or
right.
The whole phrase?
Right, because that's the way, if you read the Articles of Confederation, it is the United States of America.
Actually, that's not exactly true. You'll find that there's 3 different publishings of that. And one of the publishings is in all caps, and the others aren't.
Well, I didn't talk about it being in all caps. I'm just saying capital T and the.
Oh, okay. Yes, in the Articles of Confederation itself, the one that we see, it's that way. But there are other places where it's published, and I think one of them is in the statutes, because I think that was put into the statutes. The the was capitalized, and another one, the whole thing was in caps.
Right. But
so evidently,
is theos means God created it, and a nation that believes in God is theos. That's what the means.
Yeah, the means God. Yeah.
So we might as well capitalize it.
Well, theos is Greek. Theos is Greek for God.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where the word "the" comes from. I mean, it says in Article 1, Section 1, the name and style of our nation shall be the United States of America.
Right. I agree. No problem. No contest.
So what about the word notice at the top? Is that a good thing? I mean, a notice is a notice. We want to keep it as a notice, I guess, and not have to make a declaration? Or...
Well, notice is basically saying, I think it's stronger than declaration. This is a done deal, and I'm just telling you about it.
Yeah.
I remember Gitta telling me when I told her I did a commercial notice that my name and all variations and replications of it were private, and for the use of my name you had to contact me, and I left a phone number. And she goes, well, that's just a notice. It doesn't have any weight. I mean, I understand how people... But I'm okay with notice.
Okay.
Okay, now suppose you have an initial. It's a middle name, I'd say, on your on my certificate of live birth.
Yeah, well, that's just a fiction for a real name. It's an abbreviation of a real name, so you might as well just use your real name.
Well, that's taken care of in this document. First, in paragraph 2, when you put your name, it has to be what's on your Social Security card.
In paragraph 1, you mean? Not 2.
Paragraph 2.
3 names on it.
Where? I'm looking at the notice again.
Okay, whereabouts in 2 do you put your name?
Right in the middle, on the third line, where you put your name.
Oh, okay.
No, it should be listed.
Okay, that's in the second paragraph.
Yeah, it's Patrick Devine has spoken and written in capital letters.
And also, down above attested, signature by proxy.
Yes.
And the American trustee currently, ex maleficio, is that same person in paragraph 2.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're voting by proxy for that person.
Yeah.
And
so that's upper and lower, right?
The way I put it down, because he's always addressed, anytime he's addressed in all caps. And in fact, Patrick did say print it. Well, I put it down. I did it the way lawyers do it. /S/ space, and then the name in all caps.
Okay, I missed that.
Which one is that with the proxy? Tom, is that with the proxy?
You're not can't hear you anymore. I don't know what you're
breaking up.
Yeah, you got your mouth twisted the wrong way.
All right, can you hear me now?
That's great. What do you do different?
All right, I said to wear the proxy. Where you had a proxy, you don't use your full name, or you just use what's on your Social Security.
Where it says signature by proxy?
Yeah.
That is your birth certificate name.
Oh, okay. All right.
In all caps. Really, it's also what's on my Social Security card in all caps.
Okay. Now, that should be all caps all the way, or what?
Well, it makes it clear. Okay, look at the middle of the second paragraph. Patrick Devine in all caps. He's a trustee. Well, he's Social Security trustee. Then blah blah, and his trustee ex maleficio bar card. And the whole purpose of this vote is to vote by proxy for him. So you.
All right, now, because he got by proxy and captioned in small letters.
Pardon?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the one that we got, and that's his captioned in little letters.
That's what I see.
What does he have little letters?
He got with proxy. He got Patrick, capital letter P, and then little letters.
Oh,
he's right above the barred line.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in like 3 places.
It says yes and no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's true. And I have mine that way too.
And that's the way it is where it says signature by proxy.
Well, I think it doesn't make a difference because he has said before that whether it's an uppercase or lowercase doesn't really make a difference.
Okay.
All right. Let me make sure I got that. All right. On number 2, Trustee ex manifesto bar card. Okay.
Bars in parentheses.
Bars in parentheses. Okay.
All capital.
All caps.
Okay. All right. The other thing. What is the other thing that you did differently?
Well, if you have the first version, in that same paragraph, reading on, it should be, and the SS Constructive Trust in vitum, transmitting account.
In the SS, what am I saying? And that's in section 2. SS Constructive Trust, transmitting account.
No, it should be trust in vitum.
It should be. Say that again. Say that again.
Instead of trust, it's trust in vitum, and that's defined in the definitions below.
Right. It's spelled correctly in the document that Patrick made.
Right. INVITUM.
Yeah, it's spelled correctly. There's a red squiggly. It's like the computer doesn't understand NVTM.
Okay.
Right. It's Latin, but he didn't have it in his first version. I put it in the second version.
Okay.
And we also add on the bottom line American in front of trustee. It should be and American trustee rather than and this trustee.
Okay, so after routing number, it should be is a contempt of. Oh no! Wait a minute. I'm wrong. Okay, above that, where it says per his trustee ex maleficio and bar card in all capital letters and parentheses. I mean bar, and then card in all caps. And the SS Constructive Trust in vitum.
Yes.
Transmitting account.
And then you go all the way down to the last line, and it should say and American trustee rather than and this trustee.
Okay, that's the last line that says...
Yes, this is in the document. That part is in the document that I uploaded on 5 o'clock today.
Mm-hmm.
The bar is not in there.
But the American trustee of the United States of America is in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so we're voting. I don't want to get screwed up, but we're voting yes on all these things, right? Yeah, yes is what we're saying, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to re-enter, then it's a vote no.
Right. It's a re-entry document, right?
Right.
But yeah, the proxy is for the American trustee, so that's why you want your name as a living upper and lowercase name and your full name.
Because you're the full beneficiary.
Yeah.
And stockholder.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to use my middle name in that one too.
Well, there would be no dash then, right?
That's what I got to do too.
Yeah, I guess.
Patrick didn't have a middle name.
Because that's what's on my...
Well, he does have a middle name, but he doesn't use it.
Right.
Like I use it.
So there would be no dash
so if
required.
you're using your middle name, if you're having 3 names, where does the dash go?
Well, he used to be doing it between first, dash, middle, semicolon, last.
Okay.
Or
first,
if you want, given, dash, middle, semicolon, clan.
First, dash.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter
and
because...
the last.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter the hyphens and the semicolon. It's just your name. I'm using it the way it's written on my notice of registration.
Okay, and this is supposed to be the name that's on your certificate of live birth.
Correct.
Not that one. Not the attested by name. That's whatever you go by.
Okay, all right.
It's only the trustee who is on the certificate of live birth.
Okay.
I
put my married name in here.
Social Security trustee has to be the one that's on your Social Security card.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I got that.
That's up in number 2, not the proxy vote.
Well, it's the same trustee. And if I had caught that earlier, I would have put all caps down on the proxy vote too.
But is the American trustee the American trustee isn't?
Well, we're becoming the American trustee.
Yeah, so we want to use our name in upper and lowercase. We don't want to be dead.
Well.
Or fiction.
But we're currently, when we do this document, we're not the actual trustee, but we have a trustee ex maleficio. I guess we could make an argument that American trustee is our real person, and the other trustee ex maleficio makes that clear, the difference between the two.
Right. For the American trustee, that's the re-entry under the Articles of Confederation, man or woman. We're re-entering as the American trustee, so we want to say yes with a real name.
I think we're both entering as both Confederation and constitutional.
Right.
Hey, I want to ask you something. On the second paragraph, that trustee, Trustie. Isn't that misspelled?
You may have an early version where scan errors weren't caught.
Okay.
Take a look at the latest version.
Look at it. That's what I was.
To which you only have to add bar.
Yeah.
Patrick sends me faxes in PDF form. I have to scan them because they're just images. And then I convert that scanning to a document, and I don't catch every small error.
Well, I'm just
scanner sometimes takes two letters and combines it into one letter that looks almost the same.
That's just double checking, man. Just double checking.
Right. So if you see anything you think is a misspelling, look at his original PDF.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think that pretty well got it. Just
right.
trying to make sure, man.
Now you have the work of looking up all these places to send it, and then preparing tax cover each one of them.
I got about 18 but
yeah.
I'm trying to cover every one thing I know.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
On the birth certificate, I'm looking at 3 different numbers on here, and I'm trying to figure out which one is the account number and the routing number.
They're not on the birth certificate.
They're not on the birth certificate?
They're on the Social Security number.
You're on the call.
Oh, they're on the Social Security card?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Now, does it make any difference all the way at the top in the first paragraph at the end where it says American Hospital Birth Certificate? Now, I don't have a hospital birth certificate because I wasn't born in a hospital. I just have a certificate of live birth.
I have to modify that to what you actually have.
Okay, so I'll modify that to a certificate of live birth.
Whatever you have.
Okay.
Right.
Like I have a notification of birth registration, so I'm going to say that.
And he also had his DD-214 listed there, I believe. Oh no, he had the he that was on the end of paragraph 1. That's the next section. I forget where he had it. I don't have a DD-214, so I struck it.
That's under number 1, isn't it? The DD-214.
Yeah,
it is.
And you don't
if
have
you're not
one.
in the military, you leave it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're not doing this word for word. You're reading the whole document and understanding what's there.
It's an example.
If it's not due, you change it.
I have a question for everyone.
Okay.
Are we sending all of these pages, or are we sending just the first page, which is the vote and the rest of that? In other words, are we sending 3 or 4?
I'm going to send all the pages. I'm going to send the definitions.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
I think they were meant just for us.
It's good to include a glossary because if you don't, they can change the meaning.
Right. I mean, it's making clear what you mean and where it's coming from. You know, they can't say. In fact, I'd probably add to mine definitions from Anderson's dictionary. I probably should say definitions of Anderson's and Ballantyne's, because I think there's a couple of Ballantyne's in there.
Okay, that makes sense. So this would be kind of like the authorities in a court case.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so this is...
and it's possible they may not even know what we're talking about. They may have learned it at one time and completely forgotten about it, or it's been beaten out of them in the structure camp. Who knows?
True.
Okay, so the notice of reentry, it says 1 of 1, and then it has like 2 and maybe a 4th page of definitions.
I removed the 1 of 1 because actually Patrick did add, that's another one that didn't get put in there. After the contact information, the last line is in parentheses in bold, the real Homeland Security enforcer. That's what he recently put on there.
Okay, so you said remove the 1 of 1?
Well,
page 1 of 1?
I put the 1 of 1, and the disc, the way I formatted it, it fell off on the next page and I couldn't get it in. So it's not really that important, so I left it off.
Okay, I'll just leave it off. But anyway...
Well, if I feel it's important, I'd just simply write it in. What the hell?
Okay. So that's like 3 1/4 pages. That's including 2 1/4 pages of definitions, and we're sending all of that.
Yeah.
The definitions with the notice of reentry.
Right.
Okay, and then we got to do copy the Social Security card front and back, and write on that the surrender part.
To the federal officials, not to the state officials.
To the surrender is going to who?
Social Security Administration and the federal officials.
Okay. Social Security and federal officials.
He gave us a list of federal officials yesterday. And I'm in the process of transcribing yesterday's call, and so you refer to that.
You said surrender to the appropriate federal officials, right? Or
no, he said all the federal officials were appropriate. The state officials were not appropriate.
Right, state official is not appropriate. You just say surrender to the federal official. Is that what you said?
He said right on the across your copy. After you copy the Social Security card front and back, I guess, on a piece of paper. I guess you would. That's where he said right across it. Surrender on. And will no longer participate as a foreign banking member. Is that right, Tom? That's what I got.
Now, I'd probably do that because I'm going to scan the Social Security card in. In fact, it's already scanned in. Mm-hmm. So I will probably bring it up in Microsoft Paint and type those words on the card in red.
Okay.
You said no longer participate as a foreign banker.
No longer participate as a foreign banking member.
Oh, banking member. Okay, I thought you said banker member. I know it's pretty slick what they did, how they organized this whole thing, because it did really tie us up and to the chair, to their chair.
Yeah.
Right.
They kept us hostage this manner.
Yeah.
And people complain about the fact that things keep changing, but this is a huge detective story.
I can barely hear you, Tom.
Okay. Is that any better? Is that any better?
Yeah, a little better now.
Okay. Well, people complain about things changing from week to week to week, but
Yeah,
they have
that's
to,
normal.
because this is a gigantic detective story. And
Right.
the way you uncover a mystery is you try one theory after another until one works.
Right. Oh no, I don't mind the things changing because it's all progress toward the positive. It's all
Right.
It's all it's like untying a knot. Each week we untie another knot.
And all the other stuff is still useful and in the background.
Mhm.
And if
It's
we
an
get
education.
if we get visited, it gives us the information on how to talk to them.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure of something on number 3. All foreign constructed trusts are now terminated, and they are required to be liquidated first of law with full. What's that? Restru. All right, you got RESTI.
Restitutio in integrum.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of those words.
Restitutio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Restitution in full or in whole. Integrum means whole, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Latin.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't misspell nothing. I'm looking at it, but you know how certain use computers try to mumble stuff up on you.
But it is kind of confusing, this proxy vote for the American trustee. It is the trustee that we used to be, but we're the living man that's making the proxy vote, so we have to use the name as the living man.
Right. The current criminal trustee and the living beneficiary have the same name.
Mhm.
But we're two different entities. We have two different roles.
Okay, you have to say that over again. I still can't hear you very well. It's like you've got Kleenex over your mouth when you talk.
Well,
it's like I don't know, it's your voice or your microphone.
Hears.
Proxy vote for the American trustee. Why are they saying American trustee if it's a U.S. Trustee?
Well, I've got my microphone up on high.
Okay, now it sounds better. Yeah.
Okay.
I have my sound on full too. But anyhow, proxy vote for the American trustee. Now, when I read that, the American trustee, the proxy vote, you as the man is doing a proxy vote for the fiction. So the proxy vote is the real man.
He's the current trustee, and you're re-entering as the trustee by displacing him.
He's the current trustee. Okay, so that's the American trustee under the article.
We're both American. We're both American trustees.
Okay.
One's fake and one's real.
Right. Okay. So, I got you. So, we have to understand that. That's all.
Yeah.
One's real, one's fake. So when you're voting, when you're actually writing something down on a piece of paper, the fake guy with the capital letter name, he can't really mark anything.
That's why I would put it in caps to make the difference between the two.
Right. So in the paragraph, I use it in caps like Patrick did, and then down here where you actually do the vote, it's in upper and lower case.
All right. Well, except when the signature by the proxy, maybe I should do that.
I mean, it really is important. Proxy vote is a real man. The trustee can't vote. If you put a fiction name in there or capital letter name, you really can't vote.
Remember, he says that the case actually doesn't make a difference.
Okay, I know, but it's good for us to understand it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want our vote not to count.
Yeah.
But only a living person can vote, and if you're doing a proxy vote, you are doing a living man for a dead thing, for a fiction. The living is voting for the dead.
And isn't this
the living is the proxy?
Yeah.
And isn't this what he talked about in that first transcription that you did, Tom, where he says it's your free will. Corporations have no free will.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying too, yeah.
Hey, look, I'm going to ask y'all something else. Down here where you put your address and all this is outside the U.S. Postal Constructed Trust Zone. And you put your regular zip code, but if you're going to do outside the trust zone, when you put 9998 versus your regular 4 digits, you understand what I'm saying?
9999 is actually a 4-digit code, usually for the post office itself.
9998.
That's for withdrawal.
Huh?
That was a banking. Those were banking numbers, deposit and withdrawal.
No, I'm talking about 9998 is outside the U.S. trust zone.
No,
yeah, that's a general delivery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to do that. You're outside. You don't want to do that. You just you're supposed to have that number, the trackage that goes to your house where you get your mail.
Yeah.
That's the end of the track.
Where you want them to bring
your private
information.
Account.
Right.
Yeah, you still want to keep it. That's your private account number. It's just that it's out. Now we're outside of it.
Right. Well, anything that goes in the mailbox is in the trust zone. Anything outside the mailbox is not in the trust zone.
Right.
So my chair next to the mailbox is outside the trust zone.
Right, but you still want the correct location.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when they liquidate, that you want them to bring that to you, right?
Right. That's an account number, right. That's a routing number, like he said.
Yeah.
It gets a trackage. It goes right to you.
Okay. I'm glad I asked y'all, because when I read that, that's why I put that 9998. I'm glad I asked y'all. Grateful.
I can't believe how well I'm understanding this. Woo! I mean, I it's clicking in my head, and that's so unusual.
So right there, he has his name in upper and lower case wherever it says American Trustee. It's always in upper and lower case because the American trustee is the living, the proxy voter is the living voting for the dead guy that can't say anything.
Yeah.
It's just good to get in our head straight because he would say the same thing. It's just that he gets kind of, like if we don't get it the first time, it's kind of frustrating for him to repeat it over and over again.
The living is the proxy.
Right.
I'm doing it for that guy because he can't do anything.
I mean, it's really interesting how they did all this to enslave us, how they tricked us. It's like, wow, it's like they blindfolded you mentally and they spun you around and said, okay, go pin the tail on the donkey. Go ahead and try to be an American citizen now, and you can't. You're sticking pins into the wall all over the place. You're not going to do anything right. Because you're all spun out.
Well, I just figured out why I couldn't get my page numbers on here. Because I had an extra blank line above it.
Did you say you put something at the bottom of the page? No
no.
longer participating as a foreign banking member.
Where?
Did you put that on the page too? I couldn't hear you.
No, that goes with your
the Social Security card.
Yeah.
Okay, not on this page, right? Okay. So you'd put the page 1 of 1 on there.
Hey, Stephen, going back to number 1, the registration number, that's the birth certificate?
Yeah.
Or whatever number you have, whatever thing you have. Like I have a notification of birth registration, so I'm just going to call it that.
Right.
And I have a certificate of live birth.
Yeah, so you call it that.
Now, your registration number, that's where those first 3 numbers come in under the state. Is that right, Tom?
Pardon?
Okay, back up in number 1, where you put in the registration number. Those first 3 numbers comes from whatever state you were born in. That's why we needed those 3 numbers.
I'm in Ohio, and my certificate doesn't have those 3 numbers. And Patrick has always put in what you have. So what I did is I put in the 3 numbers in parentheses before it.
Okay.
So he's making the certificate, the attached Church of Rome's creditor Sestike Ve usage trust attached to the birth certificate or whatever we have. They're saying that the Sestike Ve trust is attached to that.
Yes.
That's not the old what are you talking about, the baptismal certificate. That's not that.
No.
He's not saying that. He's not saying anything about that in this document. Because usually he did the Sestike Ve trust with the baptismal certificate. But there it's actually attached to the birth certificate.
Right. The Sestike trust is attached to the certificate of live birth, but it's attached by the baptismal certificate. But he basically had said that we're going to turn that stuff in later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a notification. Just let them know we're done. We're expressing your will.
All right.
And there isn't anything in here I noticed like claiming what that one guy did, claiming the divine proportion, your afterbirth, your DNA, and all that. He doesn't say anything about that.
We've never talked about that.
I know, only other people are talking about that. I understand that.
Don't mix processes.
Right. That's pretty bizarre that anybody can claim that anyhow.
Right.
Especially since you don't have possession of it.
Citizens had a fucking bow tie tied, huh? It's always good to learn something. Hey, brother. That little kitchen part is hard to do by yourself. Hey,
hey, somebody's got their line open. You're partying on with another caller.
Okay.
Better, yeah.
Any more?
No. We'll probably get another note. He'll probably think of something else, but that's good. want to think of something else, and we're getting a little closer. We're getting over, like you say, getting over the target.
Right.
Got our Bombay doors open.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What is the situation with the trustee of our state?
What?
I haven't heard anything about the trustee of our state that we just found out about. What a trustee?
That's what we're doing. We're doing a proxy vote for him.
No,
we're terminating and liquidating him.
No, you asked Patrick that question yesterday, and he said we're not dealing with the estate anymore.
Y'all not listening. Listen, please. Just hold on, man. I'm not talking about my estate, EIN, or anything like that. He misunderstood me at that time. I just didn't say anything. I'm talking about the trustee in my state. That's supposed to be holding my trust.
You mean the trustee in your state that you're living in?
Yeah.
Because the way you said it, it sounded like you said your estate, not your state.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, like I said, that's why I didn't say anything. I just let it go. Okay. But I found my trustee here, but ain't nobody said nothing about giving nothing to him no more. They just talking about giving.
That was on the previous documents. We're no longer sending the documents specifically listing all the things in the state. We're letting them figure it out, but we're sending it to each state secretary of state, attorney general, and treasurer.
Yeah, I get that part. I was just wondering why he wasn't mentioned since he was the new guy on the block. Now no longer, and now he's not. You know, that's all. I was just trying to.
I don't understand your question.
Okay, my question is, last week we talked about this trustee, in our state, and now this week we ain't really talking about him no more. And I just wanted to know why. That's all it was to it.
Because we have a new document.
Okay, because all right.
We were voting in each state. We're no longer voting in each state. We're addressing this to the national trustee, to whom all those other trustees report.
Okay, and who was that? Who was the national trustee?
Well, there is, at the federal level, there is a national trustee, and then there are, I think, 16 regions. There's regional trustees, but we're not addressing them by name.
Okay, so I'm not. Because I'm in Region 10. So
the trustee regions are not the same as the court regions.
Okay. All right, I see. But Thomas, my federal district judge person just got voted in. Her name happens to be Nancy J. Rothen something, and she's a Article 3 judge, but she's not the chief judge. So is the chief judge still in Article 3 as well as her?
I would suspect yes, but however, we're bypassing that problem now because we're getting rid of the bar card, which lets us talk to Article 3 card judges.
I see.
Right now, the key phrase that he said right now is that, what was that language? Notice to the U.S. trustee is the same as is a notice to all U.S. Department agents. Notice to U.S. Department agents is notice to all U.S. trustees, national trustees. So it's saying you guys figure out who's supposed to get this. You're not gonna nail it on me.
And that's in the new document you posted tonight?
No.
Okay. All right.
That's in the call of yesterday and the call of today.
That's right. That's right. I got you. Thank you, Tom.
Okay. Any more?
Yeah, I got a question.
Sure.
I'm confused still on this American Trustee. Proxy vote for the American Trustee at the bottom of the voting section. And then 2 lines down, by right a proxy vote for the American Trustee. Are those the same entity? And if they are they the one we are voting by proxy for? In other words, the name on the Social Security card and the birth certificate?
And yes, that's the current trustee. We just went over this a few times.
Yes, and my phone was cutting in and out, and I couldn't get it well enough in my mind.
Current trustee is a trustee ex maleficio.
Oh, okay.
Which means in Latin he's a trustee from wrongdoing.
Okay.
And he has the same name as we, the beneficiary and stockholder. Sort of the same name.
The attested by autograph and name would be us in our flesh and blood capacity.
Right.
Okay, so the signature by proxy.
When we're sending this notice, we're sending it as not currently the American trustee. We're throwing them out and re-entering that position.
Oh. Okay.
That's why it attested by, it doesn't say we're an American trustee yet.
Right. American citizen, authorized representative, American creditor / beneficiary owner.
Right.
Okay. All right. I got it. Thank you for your patience.
Okay. Any more? Should we call it a day then?
Hey, Thomas, I got one little question on your computer printing tools. You know, when you want to go after you make a new line and you want to make the space between one line bigger than the other, which button do you push to make that space after you print a sentence a little bit bigger? Like instead of 5, you might go to 10 or 7 or 3 or whatever.
Because I have to cram lines on, I actually have to make some of those blank spaces smaller.
Yeah.
And what I do is I go to the end of the sentence before the blank line.
Yeah.
And then do the right arrow.
Yeah.
And the right arrow should go across the line I'm trying to make blank. And then go up to the font box and change the type size. Change the type size there.
Font box, okay.
Well,
the font box, right? Okay.
Now, 90% of the time it works.
Okay.
And I don't know why it works when it doesn't work.
Oh, you just go bigger or something and go like afterwards and make another line?
No, I've never made it bigger. I've always had to make it smaller.
Right.
Steve, are you using Word?
No, I had Word in my other computer. I have Open Office now.
Yeah, I'm doing this with Open Office, which is a Word clone, sort of.
Yeah.
Steve, you covered earlier, you brought up proxy vote for American Trustee. I think that ought to be in all caps. It is a fiction.
No.
No?
No, because only the living can vote.
Proxy vote for the American Trustee.
Well, the signature by proxy means that the proxy is signing it for the trustee. So I don't think it makes a difference whether it's an upper lower case or case. He's naming the current bad trustee, and he's signing this document for him.
Okay.
And that's why I put in front of the /s/ space, and I type it in. I don't actually sign it.
Yeah.
And Patrick mentioned print the name in, and he could have said print in uppercase. I don't know whether he meant by that to print it in uppercase or upper and lowercase, but not to sign it.
On the American Trustee, that's the top right side, right?
On the signature by signature by proxy.
Right. It says underneath it. It says American Trustee.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going upper and lowercase because it's by proxy.
Right.
Right. Because the proxy is the living. It's the only one that can actually vote. A dead guy can't vote, Dan.
No, I understand
but the dead guy can't even put his name on anything.
Yeah.
So you're doing it for him.
Right. We're an American trustee. We're terminating the U.S. trustee.
Right. And yes, and it's by our. He's currently the trustee, but by our vote above, we've just tossed him.
Yeah. We want to put a check in there with our own written living mark.
Right.
That looks like a V for vote.
Or put a curly Q on it.
Curly Q, yeah, whatever that is.
Just so, so it's not something done by a typewriter.
Yeah, that's like a wavy line, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or a little circle.
Well, as long as the handle is going toward the right.
Right. Well, but Patrick said he's never seen anybody make one to the left.
Yeah, I don't know what a curly Q is, but I heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Okay.
So we got it?
I think I understand it pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I better quit while I'm ahead.
Well, it doesn't have to keep going over and over it.
Yeah, we can listen. Yeah, it looks good. It's not that it's only one page. It's just good to get it in your mind. It's going to be in there for a while. You might as well get it in there right.
That's right. Because sometimes putting the wrong things in there, voids the whole John Brown thing.
Well, if you're having a question about a blank, sometimes it's coming from you don't really understand what's above it. So, make sure you read the document again to totally justify what we've discussed on what we fill in the blanks.
Okay.
And
I appreciate everything, Tom.
Okay, you notice what Patrick is coming up with the change because he's reading his own documents over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's reading his own documents, what?
He's reading his own documents over and over again.
Oh, okay.
That's where these minor changes over the past few days are coming from. And just inserting the word bar is really a breakthrough.
It's good to have someone else read your document.
Yeah, it's proofreading.
Because your mind will fill in the gaps even if they're not there.
No, he says when he used to do audios, he used to listen to them 2 or 3 times before he would release them to make sure they're right.
He's very thorough.
So he really goes over it. He doesn't take his first impression and fly with it.
Right.
Again, it's like a detective story.
He's a trailblazer.
Yep.
Paving the way.
Uh-huh.
I'm grateful.
We all are. He really works hard at this. He's thinking it day and night.
He's living it.
Right.
Tom?
Yeah.
Okay, on the first page in the second paragraph at the top, before you vote, it says, and you may have answered this, I just couldn't hear you. We the people of the U.S. Constitutional National Trust of Just American Central Trust and Banking, semicolon, the unjust banker, period, semicolon. Should I say unjust bankers? Or just leave that?
Where is this? Oh, okay. Now I see. Yeah.
Take out the period and make that bankers or just banker? Because wouldn't it be bankers have used their foreign constructive U.S.-SS trustee ex maleficio?
Yes, you're right. It should be plural. Because the there is plural.
Mm-hmm.
There is plural. There is plural.
Okay, good.
So it should be bankers.
Yeah.
And
thank you for that.
Period right after banker. It should be bankers.
Is that the third line up from the bottom? It said unjust bankers?
No, it's in the second paragraph, the fourth line.
Okay,
so third line from the bottom of that paragraph.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Mine shows punctuation after banker. Looks like a period. Probably
take out the period. That's
no, he has a semicolon, and I left it in.
I got a period and a semicolon.
Well, you could have an earlier scanned version. Remember, I scan all this stuff, and there's all kinds of extra crap in it.
So we should change that to bankers plural?
Yeah.
Bankers and then semicolon?
Well, I would normally remove most of the semicolons or change them to periods.
Okay.
He is saying, in his mind, that semicolons aren't as strong as commas. I mean, I would replace semicolons by periods, by commas.
Okay, by commas, not by periods.
Right. Because he's saying that the U.S. Constitutional National Trust of Just those of Central Trust and Banking, and then, I see. I still think that the commas, right. But the U.S. through the U.S. National Trust, the unjust bankers have used a constructive, so the good trust has using the laws, using the trust, the bankers have put in a fake trustee.
Okay, so then there's a semicolon after U.S. Constitutional National Trust of Just American Central Trust and Banking, semicolon, the unjust bankers.
That's what he had, yes. That's what he had.
Are we changing that to a comma?
If you want to change it to a comma, I think it'd actually be clear.
Okay,
so change after U.S. Central Trust and Banking, change that to a comma. The unjust bankers, comma, have used their foreign constructive U.S.
Actually, at the unjust bankers, I would remove the comma from there.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
The unjust bankers have used.
Right.
Okay.
I think that makes more sense. Good one to bring up.
Okay, so Central Trust and Banking, it should be a comma there?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
At the end of banking.
Oh.
You have to put something there.
Yes, right. At the end of banking, yes.
The unjust bankers, and then it would be nothing, right?
The unjust bankers have used.
Yeah.
No function.
Right.
What is the word bargo in section 2?
Where?
On part 2, section 2, is supposed to put the word bar in there somewhere?
Yes, after trustee ex maleficio card, he put bar in front of card.
Okay, bar card, okay.
Did you guys talk about the word enrichments? Because it's got a red squiggly on it, and it should be just singular, right? Enrichments. There's no such thing as enrichments.
I think it's valid to say that. There could be several different kinds of enrichments.
Okay.
I think it's just a defect in the Open Office Spelling Dictionary.
Right. In order to use, deprive, and control the American National Trust Depository.
Oh, I see a trustee that was spelled wrong.
We don't need to use the word conceal in there, too. Use, deprive, and control. Conceal is the same as deprive.
No, it's not.
No?
No, because conceal is more like hidden.
Right. And deprive is not letting you touch it.
Right.
Okay. I just found a typo in the second paragraph. The second paragraph at the top on the second line.
Trustee.
Yeah, trustee has an I in it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Second paragraph at the top.
Use, deprive, and control. It should be use, deprive, and conceal. Second paragraph, the American National Trust Depository and this American trustee under their legalized constructive fraud and constructive usury trust. Under their legalized, right? With a D on the end of legalized?
I would think it's legalized, but she's done that 3 times now. I think I will. Now, which paragraph is that?
This is paragraph 2, at the last line, under their legalized, L-I-Z-E or L-I-Z-E-D, constructive frauds and constructive usury trust.
I don't see that.
I think it should be past tense because they did it already.
What do you mean, number 2 or paragraph 2 at the top?
Paragraph
2.
At the top?
Okay.
Under their legalized, the very last line. After this American trustee under their legalized constructive frauds and constructive usury trust.
But it's also got it as with a capital letter, and you don't capitalize nouns. You only capitalize verbs. You only capitalize nouns.
Okay, so that should be lowercase.
So it could be that legalized constructive frauds and constructive usury is the name of the trust.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone.
Right.
And put my question really was, do I put the D at the end of legalized, or is it because it's in the past tense?
Yeah, you're right. If it wasn't a title, it could still be a participle, in which case it should be have a D on it.
Past tense, yeah.
Okay,
so we are putting a D on it.
Yeah, I think put a D on it. That makes sense.
Okay, but I had a question on the line above that. For their fraudulent benefit and unjust enrichment in order to use, deprive, and control, or use, deprive, and conceal the American National Trust Depository. Is it control or conceal?
Control.
I think control is a different meaning. It's not the equivalent of conceal. They're trying to control the depository, not just conceal what they're doing.
Okay.
If anything, add the word conceal in there if you want. There's room.
Yeah. In addition, yeah. That's a good idea.
Okay, so this is the second paragraph at the top of the page. It isn't number 2. I didn't see that word legalized and everything in here. I wonder if
it just says legalized. It doesn't say legalized. We should be adding a D because it should be past tense.
I know, but it's in this sentence here? It's in this second paragraph near the top?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right above, in the line right above, date of this lawful American trustee re-entry. Right above that line. It's above the word trustee.
The lawful American trustee has re-entered and has lawfully displaced the fraudulent U.S.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Social Security Trust ex malfatio, a constructive trust. Oh, I see. The I in there is messed up. Yeah. Okay. That's one of the things. And then
we'll talk about the last line of that paragraph. You don't need to read the whole paragraph.
Okay. But I couldn't find it. I'm still looking for it.
It's at the very bottom.
Can't find the last line?
Oh, legalize. Okay, and they're legalized D. Yeah, I mean to be.
Yeah, because constructive is kind of a verbal adjective too.
Right. So legalized. I see what you're saying.
So now, do we have 3 words above it? Do we have deprive, conceal, and control?
I have used, deprive, conceal, and control.
Okay.
Use, deprive, conceal, and control. Okay.
Steve, I missed the previous issue. Which I is out of whack?
It's
higher.
It was up there in about the middle, the third line down in the second paragraph.
Okay.
For trustee?
The second line down.
Second line down, yeah. It was right after constructive, right after trustee ex malfacio.
Now it's
and then a constructive trustee. It had an I and then two E's.
I think I already corrected that. Yeah.
Deprive, conceal. Yeah, I like it in there.
Is anybody getting a bunch of hang-ups on their phone?
No.
Darlene got kicked off.
No, I mean from just somebody calling and hanging up repeatedly.
At your house?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it. To see if you're home or something like that.
That's what I was like. Are they coming or what?
You get
They're
to the
just checking
phone
to see if I'm here?
There's nobody there. Yeah, I don't know. Something like that.
I think where that comes from is the telemarketing people. When they dial numbers, they actually don't just dial one. They dial a whole bunch of them. And whichever one picks up first, they drop the other ones. It's called predictive dialing.
Yeah, and if you do a *69, it doesn't work on that kind of stuff. It says your service is working, but you can't be used on this number.
Huh. I thought the coats were trying to see if I was home. Come visit me.
Well, that could be true, but it's more likely telemarketing.
Yeah, I haven't had any telemarketing calls for over a year. I've been on the national do not call list.
Okay.
From every number I have, so it's just happened like over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, people do come in your house. I mean, the FBI and stuff, they come in your house. I mean, someone comes to my house and leaves the garage light on or something sometimes. It's kind of strange. I mean, I know I didn't do it, you know. I turn everything off when I leave.
Oh, they have a thing now where they can do, they call them basically warrantless searches where you never know. And sometimes they do it where they make it look a break and enter.
Yeah, there's something about a peek and something. Something about a peek. Yeah. Sneak and peek, yeah. Yeah.
Just keep your house messy enough they can't find anything.
Either put the string through the door, and if you've come back and find out it's on the floor, then you'll know somebody's been in.
Yeah, most criminals know that trick.
Oh, you mean from the top, you mean?
Yeah.
On the top.
I tried that with my kids, and they figured it out for Christmas.
Okay, just have an alarm system because the alarm company will automatically call you regardless if they're there or not.
Right? Oh, God.
Okay, in paragraph 3, that's numbered 3 on the first page, there's 2 periods after American Trustee voted actions. That's the third line.
That's a typo.
Yeah. That's a continuations.
No, that's another scan error. I mean, any piece of dust on the fax you made was going to show up.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I've got 2 periods there.
Yeah, it's only 2. It's not 3.
Yeah, that should be 1. Okay, I see that.
So just a single period there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are to order the U.S. Marshals to seize all American property.
Okay. Oh, then the next line, they are to order the U.S. Marshals to seize all American property and assets held by the foreign United States legalized constructive trust. It's to be legalized.
Put a D on that.
Yeah. At the end of that line. At the end of the line, I think that the trust should be plural.
Okay, it says trust. Okay, there is a plural. It is pluralized. Now, after trust on that line, should there be a period and all properties and funds are to be accounted for, like, so capitalize the all?
Oh, yeah, new sentence, yeah.
Comma. It says a comma now.
Yeah, but then it's a run-on.
Where's this?
same line, after legalized constructive trust, period, instead of comma, all property and funds are to be accounted for and then delivered to the American citizen / beneficiary.
Yeah, she's right. She's right. It should be a new sentence.
What paragraph?
3.
Paragraph 3.
Number 3.
Oh, okay, number 3. I thought you were still talking paragraph 2.
No, paragraph 3.
Okay.
They're to order
the
U.S.
fourth line down. They are to order the U.S. Marshals to seize all American property and assets held by the foreign United States legalized constructive trust. There's a comma there now. It should say period. Then start a new sentence. All property and funds are to be accounted for and then delivered to the American citizen / beneficiary. There's a semicolon there that I don't think needs to be there for the U.S. constitutional national trust / banking laws. Then another semicolon. The settlement to be completed is to be. You could actually put.
Yeah, I would just remove the semicolon.
Yeah, and then the second one, per the United States, per the U.S. constitutional national trust / banking laws, you can put a comma there. The settlement is to be completed within 3 days of this delivery notice.
I would put a period there.
Well, if you put a period there, then you break up the whole sentence. And
there's a semicolon in mine. It says the U.S. constitutional national trust / banking laws, semicolon.
Yeah, the settlement, but you start the sentence with hold on.
Well, I've changed mine. I've changed mine so that the final sentence is I put a period after national constitutional trust banking laws, period. The settlement is to be completed within 3 days.
Because it's a new theme to the wording. It's a new directive.
In other words, all property and funds are to be accounted for and then delivered is a complete sentence.
Right, that's right.
Okay, so it's a period there.
Yeah.
Period after national constitutional national trust / banking laws. There's a period.
Okay, and then the T and the is capitalized.
Right.
Right.
Okay, now mine's where it says after funds above, funds are to, mine has he in it, H-E.
That should be B. That's another
I know it should be
error.
B. Okay.
And then for those of us who are female, we should change all the his to her, correct?
Right.
Where were that?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. It could be a generic.
Generic?
How
are you generically a man or a woman?
Ask Michelle Obama that.
Yeah.
No.
On the very
no, that's something else.
Number 3.
That's a shim.
On the very last sentence on 3, this settlement is to be completed within 3 days. Could that be this settlement? The settlement?
Sure. Why not?
You could make it more specific and say this.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick is always telling us to think outside the box, so.
This settlement is the one we're talking about. That settlement.
Right.
Also, just above that, they're supposed to account for all property. I think we need to clarify that all property regarding these accounts, or this account. Not just all property. That's huge. That's the whole
all
country.
Property and funds.
Well, actually, I'm going to go back to that paragraph 2 and go back to deal with his. We're really talking about the trustee, which is an artificial person, and I think it should be its.
What line are you talking?
Right.
Third line down, you mean? After your name?
Yeah, I agree. It's not a living man or woman.
No, it's a corporation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so third line down.
So it should be the, per the trustee.
No.
He says it.
The trustee, a neuter, has a bar card.
Okay, so per its trustee maleficio parenthesis bar card, correct?
Yeah. Is there another hits in there? Good catch on that one. I like that.
So take his out and put it.
IT apostrophe S.
No
Okay.
apostrophe.
No, ITS.
Oh, really?
ITS.
It's like it's not it is.
Yeah, because it owns it.
It'll be ITS with apostrophe afterwards.
No, it'll just be ITS because it's we're not talking about a possession or it is.
So many people make that mistake.
Yeah.
But I think it is possessory because it's trustee. No?
It's already possessive. You don't have.
It's already possessive.
Oh, okay. I thought you put apostrophe after the S.
Only on word end in S.
Okay, I didn't have very good English class. Ours got split up into Greek
I don't think
mythology
any of us really did.
all the other stuff.
Indoctrination school.
Yeah.
Oh, no. My mother drilled it into me.
On the last, on section 3, the last line, National Trust Banking, just above that, one line above it, and funds are to be accounted. Is that an H or a B?
Be accounted.
Okay. My question is, mine says, and accounts are to be key accounted.
Yeah, that's what mine said.
Good eye there, Dan.
Oh, that reads better now.
All U.S. Marshals, in order the U.S. Marshals are to seize all American property. They are to order the U.S. Marshals to seize, right.
They are to order the U.S. Marshals to seize all American property and assets held by the foreign United States legalized possessive trust.
Yeah, I would take the capital off. I would decapitalize the S.
Capitalize which S? I'm sorry.
Don't make the S capitalized because it's a verb. First, then we'll go up to
Seize? On seize?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that?
But
it could be just
one
bold.
Of us update?
Just make it a bold.
Is it number 2 or number 3?
Number 3.
Number 3, fourth line, in the front.
You guys are still talking? Oh my God, this is great. Christina, I just got back on.
Hi, Dita.
I'm bolding the C's and making it lowercase.
Of course, then we could have the same argument about the end of the second paragraph at the top about use, deprive, conceal, and control. Should they be capital or not?
Oh.
Bold, you can put bold.
Yeah, I would put bold instead. I would decapitalize them and put bold.
Well, we're all updating this simultaneously together. Is somebody going to add it to the Skype group, or should I? The updated one?
Yeah, we should add it there because I'm changing my one I've already filled in.
Right.
Yeah, but you might be able to save it as.
Yeah, if you're updating the original, then yes, do that.
Okay.
But it works good when we have a team on here looking it over.
Right.
The team effort.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bold use, deprive, conceal, but not and then control.
Okay.
Right. That's a good idea. I can't get mine to highlight. What?
Okay, we said women should change their his to her, correct?
Or put its.
No, where?
Oh, wait.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
not
no,
that
I know
one.
what you're saying in the signing part, you mean?
No, okay, well, like in the very first line at the top of the page, the lawful American trustee has re-entered.
Yeah.
Semicolon, the resumption of possession pursuant to his inherent rights. I'm not a...
Right.
Right, she's a her, yeah.
That's right.
Right.
And that's on the third line you will have, well, in fact, there's 3 of them in there.
Right.
Hey, excuse me. Good morning. Hi, Patrick. How you doing? Thomas.
Yeah.
How you doing, Tom? Hey, this is Kevin. When you, on the bottom line, it says on that new document, it says date of lawful American trustee reentry. Would that be the date that you was reentered back into expatriate, or what? What would be the date on that?
The day you made the document.
The day of what?
It's just like any document. But, a letter has.
The day you did it.
The day you did it, and you could write it up
right.
one day and sign it the next day.
The day you mail it would be good.
Well, when you where does I'm coming in late. But where does this document get sent to?
It's all listed in the call of yesterday, which I'm transcribing.
Right.
The number of places it goes to. You have to listen to this call and
yesterday's
call.
Yeah.
Okay, because I missed the call yesterday.
Right.
A special call yesterday.
It was a good call.
We're still having a call tomorrow.
Yes.
Will Patrick be on?
Maybe not. We don't know.
Right.
He said there wasn't going to be any calls, and we had one today.
Right.
He said he wasn't going to be on Sunday and Monday, but he got one today.
Yeah, when it's changing, when I told him we're going to have a call to work it out, he said, "Well, I'll come on and explain the change."
Yeah, like you said, this is just a rough draft for us to look it over. It's a outline for us. It's like a template.
Well,
right.
no,
well, we're fixing it now, though.
Yeah.
The first that I posted up there was a rough draft. He actually didn't want me to post it, but he left me a message, and I didn't see the message until after I posted it.
Oh.
Because he usually sends me a fax, but I happened to read my email before I checked my phone messages. I was out for a while.
Kevin, are you still on the line?
Yeah, I'm still on the line.
Okay. There's a bunch of us who are kind of local to you, so we'd like to connect with you.
Sure.
Okay, I'll send you a text message when we get off the call.
Okay, you can also call if you like.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's 510 area code.
Hang on. 510.
Okay, if you want, I can read you the list. There are 4 major trustees at the federal level for just exchange and trustees for the Constitution: Postmaster General, Secretary of the Treasury, Attorney General, Secretary of State.
Okay, I couldn't write that fast.
Okay, I'll tell you. Postmaster General.
Okay.
Write that.
Yeah.
Secretary of the Treasury.
Okay.
Secretary of the State.
Okay.
Attorney General. State and national on all the on the.
No, that's just
the federal.
And add also the Federal District Court Attention Chief Judge.
Federal. Wait. Say that. What? Say that. What again? Federal what?
District Court. Chief Judge.
Attention Chief Judge. You don't need a name. And 6, the President.
The President?
Attention Chief Judge. Attention Chief Judge.
Yeah, and what did you say? Did you say the President too?
The President.
Yeah, President. Okay.
Okay, so CC him.
A Federal District Court Attention Chief Judge and the President and separately or?
President of the United States.
Yeah, 6 people. 6 people.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Okay, so POTUS. POTUS.
Right. Everybody.
At the state level, Secretary of State, Attorney General, Treasurer.
Governor.
And Governor.
Huh? What?
Governor.
Okay. So that's another. That's a 7th one.
No, that's from the state. That's separate.
State level.
State
okay,
level.
do the state again. I got the governor.
Secretary of the state.
Okay.
The Attorney General.
SOS, AG, TR, and GOV.
Yeah, TR, Treasurer.
Okay, so the governor, the Secretary of State, the Attorney General,
and TR.
And so we're going to hold on to the original that we signed. We can go make color copies and then write genuine copy of the original on it somewhere.
Authenticating.
I just have a stamp.
A copy.
I just I copy that.
Wait, say that again. What'd you say? You said you just have a stamp that says copy?
Yeah, I just have a red stamp.
So do I. Yeah, that's what I was using.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a stamp that says copy. I got it from
Office
Max for like $5.
If you don't have a stamp, you can just write genuine copy of original.
Or when you're scanning it in to print it, scan it in as an image, or use MS Paint to write print copy on it in red.
So like an artificial watermark?
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to write genuine copy of original. I'm going to put something like that on it. I don't have a rubber stamp.
Print out a copy that you scan and then write it in ink, red ink on it. Whatever you want, however you want to do it.
Right.
Okay. Back to the state level. Is it just 4 of them that we send to?
Right.
Because I got the governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General.
The Postmaster General?
Right.
No, that's not on the state level.
That's the federal.
The governor and the treasurer. The Secretary of State, Attorney General for the state, the governor for the state, and the treasurer for the state.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you almost did your phone number, Kevin. I think I have it written somewhere, but I don't. I
got 510. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to cut nobody off because they was in the middle of talking. But it's 938-9571.
Okay, I'll come back call you from a 510 number. I'm going to call you.
Sure, it's not a problem.
Okay, I want to call you too, Kevin.
Are you in Antioch, you said?
Yeah, I'm in Antioch.
Right.
I wonder if we want a list of CC list on this thing, so everybody gets one, knows about all the others notified.
You could do that.
Do something like that.
Now, I got my other package back from the chief judge, and like Ray Nikura, it's almost like Ray Nikura. They said there's no case number on this. We don't know what to do with it. And if you want to file a case, here's a whole bunch of paper how to file pro se in pauperum.
Okay,
so you don't have to pay
the federal court has a miscellaneous file that costs $39 to file as much as you want, and you get certified copies back out of the miscellaneous file.
Yeah, but we don't want any of that. But what I'm going to do, I bring that up because what I'm going to do on my fax cover sheet is that I'm going to say I'm sending this to you not in your capacity as a judge, but as a national trustee.
Oh.
Okay, good point.
Mm-hmm.
On your cover sheet, you said?
I'm actually going to put it on all the cover sheets for all of these people. I'm not sending this for your normal official capacities, but in your as your capacity as a national trustee.
Hey, Tom, what about a letter of rogatory? That's private.
I'm not familiar with.
A letter of rogatory is private. You be talking to him in his private, the judge in his private capacity as opposed to his public capacity. It's called letter of rogatory.
How do you spell that?
But is his position of national trustee a private capacity?
Right. So letter of rogatory is you addressing the judge not in a cloak form, but in his private capacity. It says ROGATORY. A letter of rogatory.
ROGATORY.
TORY. Rogatory.
Right.
Rogatory.
Yeah. And when they know, when you do that, they know that they can step down, because you coming in as an elector, you can vote them out. Like Patrick said, you can vote them out because now you're talking to them in a private capacity. You taking a
letter of rogatory or just letter?
Letter of rogatory. Letter of rogatory. Now you're piercing the corporate veil.
Yeah, Kevin, you really hit something there.
So are we already electors?
That's powerful.
Yes. Well, according to the Constitution, we are.
Oh.
Well, let's raise that issue. There's a question on that. Now, Patrick's got EL in front of his name, but we're talking about Social Security number in the top of this letter. So I thought he said that we could not be electors until we got rid of the Social Security account.
Yeah.
No, we could not appear in court and talk to the court.
Right.
We're still electors, but we can't talk to the court until we get rid of the damn thing.
Right.
Okay.
That's interesting. The word rogatory actually means letter of documents making a request to a foreign court to obtain information or evidence from a specified person within the jurisdiction of that court.
Right. And that's in a private capacity. So if
we should make the cover page like, what is that, like a memo line, or is this going to be a heading, or what?
Well,
what did we put? Letter of rogatory.
The previous cover page said very little. See if I can find it.
Yeah.
That's two words, letter rogatory. It's not of rogatory.
Well, yeah, I use the reason why I say letter of rogatory is because when I talk to a judge on a criminal aspect on some other stuff, he did it was an in-camera response back to me. It was not the clerk. He directly responded back to me when I was doing some stuff for somebody a few years ago on to a judge. He responded to me in his private capacity.
Yes.
Okay.
The other thing is that courts oftentimes treat letter rogatory as between two courts.
Well, you are a court, ain't you? We are a judge, ain't we? We are the national judge.
Yeah,
so it is between two courts.
I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying that's the way they treat it.
The word rogatory in Latin has it as a base question. That's what it means.
Right.
Okay.
It means what? What'd you say?
How is it between two courts if it's in a private capacity? A court is not a private capacity.
So that's if you're treating him as a trustee, it's not a court issue.
Right. It's not it's not a. Those are banks. From my understanding, those are banks. So how is I'm addressing him as a court? I don't recognize him as a court, or I recognize him as a judge.
Right.
Because he's handling my corporate affairs. So what that makes him, to my understanding, I could be wrong. Someone correct me.
Okay. The previous fax cover sheet that we were sent with the other ballot basically says as a state of trust bank officer, you are to contact me ASAP, and then says see attached trust documents, and to that I added hard copy to follow in mail.
Right.
So I think we want to make it more than that. And in fact, Patrick said on both the call yesterday and not today. Yeah, maybe said it today that he's going to come up with a fax cover sheet for us.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So now, Tom, what did you say rogatory was?
The basic Latin root is question. It's a letter of a question.
Okay, so what question are we asking him? I mean, this is a notice.
Yeah. There's no
because it's like we're trying to get permission from him.
Yes, but as I read you the definition, it's letters rogatory is a combination of words itself, has its own specific definition now, even though the Latin root doesn't mean exactly that. Documents making a request, that's still a question, to a foreign court to obtain information or evidence from a specified person within the jurisdiction of the court. So it's not asking him to do anything. It's just getting information.
Okay.
And Tom, when we send the hard copy by mail, should we send it certified?
Yeah.
I can't hear her. What'd she say?
Now?
Yeah.
Hear me now? Okay, I said my question was, when we send the hard copy by mail, should it go via certified mail?
No, because you already faxed it and you have a confirmation. So you know they got it.
So I don't need that green card.
I just said
you would have
Patrick said we were
else.
supposed to get the green cards.
No, that's when we just mail it.
Okay.
But if we're faxing it and mailing it, then we don't. The fax confirmation, I'm emailing through Metrofax. So I get back an email saying your fax was successful at this time.
Okay.
All right.
And normally on a fax machine, I think you print out a confirmation sheet.
Right.
So,
I wonder if in a perfect
yeah, that's
world,
what I did with the other one. I just attached the confirmation to the original for my file.
In a perfect world, I wonder if we should have someone else mail it. But the basic rule is you don't serve your own documents.
Well,
you don't serve your own documents. Why not?
You never do.
But this
because
is not a service.
you have a witness.
You can personally serve documents.
If you're an elector, I don't know why you can't.
No, he just said why. He just said why. Because if you have someone else mail it, then you have a witness to the mailing.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Well, you don't need a witness if you have a confirmation.
Well,
wouldn't hurt.
In a court situation, you can't have a confirmation testify that it was mailed. If you have anybody, a neighbor, anybody that says I mailed it, then there's your witness that it was done.
But you don't need the confirmation that it was mailed because it's already been faxed.
Right. So I just raised a question. It's a thought if you had somebody else do the mailing.
Right. I mean, it's good to understand that. I mean, in the case if we're just mailing it, to have someone else mail it, that would make it easy and would really need the certification then. What a lot of people do,
we're not supposed to be appearing in their courts anyway.
Right. What a lot of people.
It's the concept that by two or more people, all things are established.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Question for you then. Further down in the document, it says left witness and right witness, which are both your fingerprints.
Yep.
Right, that's good.
I think what we really need is somebody to attest to what documents that we were served with.
This getting too technical now.
Right. You confused me now.
Yeah, it's getting too technical.
Empty envelopes from people. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can have somebody attest that they mailed it or you served them, but what was in the envelope is what's really important.
Right. They'd actually have to sign on the document as a witness to the mailing on the document to be used as a witness.
Well, that's a separate sheet.
That's a tricky thing because if they sign on the document that it was mailed, it couldn't have been mailed if they signed it.
In a perfect world, you send out a second sheet stating that they mailed it, what they mailed it.
A certificate of service or something like that. Yeah.
That's more like court rules for a court case.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. We don't want to act like them because we don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the thing is, the paper that they signed that's saying they mailed it can't be in the envelope that was mailed.
Right.
Would it be an affidavit?
Well, because they didn't mail it before it got into the envelope. Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It would be after the fact, yeah.
What about a notary?
No.
A notary cannot sign that they mailed something and put that document in the envelope because it was not mailed at the time that they signed it.
Unless the notary actually mails it for
sheet
you.
of paper outside of the envelope.
What about those one of those things?
Well, a notary is a court officer, so why?
Okay,
I'm a public officer.
I'm just posing a question.
See, this is getting too technical now.
Yeah,
notary signs it after it's mailed.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that they use to throw you off.
could win.
Yeah, so
What?
all of it within the
So
system.
you don't want to leave no stone unturned. That's just.
I can't hear
Yeah,
him.
but you don't want to
breaking up.
overthink this either, and we wind up having to spin it 4 times.
I can't hear him.
All of this is within the system. We're not doing this within the system.
Right. So what he said was that if you put a document inside an envelope, there's no proof that it was mailed at that time it was in the envelope. You have to do it after the fact.
So you have to do a separate document.
Yeah.
Like an affidavit, sort of.
Don't they have those forms at the post office verifying the contents of the documents going in there?
No.
A registered mail, you could list
it's a
what's in the document.
Form. It's an 80-something 03 form, something like that, where the post office.
They don't know. That you can give it the address it was sent to, but there's no way to tell what the content was.
Right.
Well,
yeah, I think they got something like that for like international mail, where you can list the contents of a mailing.
Describe the document, yeah. But anyhow, that's another tricky word too, because describe means to not be within, and you have to be inscribed in the envelope.
Right. Okay. Well, we can just fax it and regular mail it, right? We don't have to go through all this other mumbo jumbo.
And do that certificate of mailing with the green little label on it. That's what Patrick.
No, yeah, I don't want to do the stuff that they do.
Yeah. Whatever.
Because then
The only way to do that is just walk it in person, man. Get all that drama, man.
There's nothing wrong. If you listen to the call, certificate of mailing with the green number on it is the way to go, because you got proof that they got mailed.
Right.
Stamp it right there at the counter when you
get
to the lady.
You get the green card back, too. Well, that's what Patrick was saying before, that we were going to use the green card. Now we're not using the green card.
But there's a certificate of mailing that doesn't have a green card. It has a green label. Has a green little stripe with the number.
I know what you're talking about. It's a certified mailing, but they normally go hand in hand with the green card on the back of the envelope.
No.
That's right.
Yeah, right. I guess so. I don't know.
You can do a certified mailing without a green card.
Yeah.
All that.
Then you get the little slip back. Yeah. But you pay the same price, so.
I think it's
right.
more if you put the green card on it.
It's more with the green card, but you can go to the USPS.gov site and see that it was actually delivered and print that out, and you have proof that they received.
Right. Well, there's a little number on it. You can track it. Yeah.
This is really all beside the point of the process here. We're not using that now.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So, any more questions on the process?
I think we need to let it go. Sleep on it and come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys, have you guys read any books on Bailment?
Books? No.
Okay, because if you go to archive.org and just put Bailments or Bailment in, there's some great books that explain the whole Bailment world. They're really, really good.
Go to where? Go to what site?
Archive.org.
Okay.
Okay. But we're not doing bailment anymore.
Oh, we're not. That's interesting, because I thought that's what it was about.
We were doing bailment before when we were trying to get them for doing it wrong. But now we're just coming in as a trustee and voting them out.
And we're re-entering.
Yes.
We're repatriating with our nation of origin.
Turtle Island?
Wow. We're getting there, I guess.
We just have to remind each other what's on our minds so that we get it right. We're reprogramming our brains so that we're on the right road here, riding the right path.
Right.
Okay, I think we need.
I think I got it now. Yeah.
We gotta let it go and then make corrections and then come back.
Yeah, I think with the kind of conversations we had last night and tonight, get to work on the documents and then come up with more questions and we can go through it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today's Sunday.
I'm going to finish mine up tonight. I'm going to finish it up now. So do you want me to update? You want me to add the corrected version to the Skype group?
Yeah.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll do that.
I was thinking about putting reward on the heading. So if the officer grants our request and goes through this stuff, that we will enumerate him with some funds, because that's what it's all about.
Well,
then you have the CIA at your door.
But wouldn't that put you back in the system?
Patrick addressed that yesterday. That probably when they do the just exchangement, they're probably going to do a haircut for their services.
Mm-hmm. That's right, a haircut.
All right.
So I think we've gone through this document well enough that probably it's the new questions we'll deal with. I don't think we'll have to go over this again.
Okay.
Can I ask one more question for y'all, leave?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be green, does it?
No. He said we don't have to use green paper.
With the bracket around it.
I'm going to print my original on parchment paper with the bracket around it. However, we keep the originals. We don't send them out. So I will then do color scan, save it as a PDF, and then I'll print all 10 copies. Well, I have 3 states to go to, so I probably need 20 copies.
Right. I have 3 states too, Tom.
Yes. So that's
because it's the state of your birth, where you lived prior, and then where you live now.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So don't do all the states you lived in?
What'd you say?
So do you do all states you lived in, or just the one you lived in prior to wherever you live now, and your birth date?
Anything you have a certificate that you can cash in. I lived in Connecticut in the 1st grade, in Texas in the 5th and 6th grade, and I didn't have any document that I could cash in. But I have voter's license and driver's license from Arizona, Nebraska, and Ohio. Even though they're expired. Anything you had, if you were in a state that took out a bunch of loans, whatever you had. Or if you own a property in a state but never lived there.
Right.
Okay.
But you can cash in the titles.
Huh.
I talked to a guy that was a lawyer today, and I just verbally told him some of this stuff, and I said I'm repatriating with the United States of America under the law. And he says, "Oh, that doesn't exist any longer." I go, "Yeah, it does." I go, all prior treaties are in full effect. And he just looked at me like he acted like, oh, that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, they're not all knowledgeable.
I know.
They're brainwashed.
They're brainwashed. Yeah. Jinx.
Bingo. Their parents, they just repeat everything that they're told.
Right.
They probably taught that in school.
Right.
He says, so what's that going to do? What's that going to do? And I go, I'm going to get my inheritance. I want to be where I'm supposed to be. I don't want to have the Department of the Treasury operating my trust. I want to operate it,
It takes a lot of training to make somebody a traitor to their country.
Yeah.
Right.
All these kind of people, and just go sometime and show them your new car or $3 million balance in the bank account or whatever.
All right. So we don't need the estate EIN anymore.
No.
Okay. We're still using that 98 though, right?
If you don't have one, you wait until you get your stuff from the one.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to get to working on this document and upload it to the Skype group. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
All right.
Good night.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you.